I am right now. Like, so chronically single. Like, I think men are allergic to me. I don't even know. So if anyone wants to have a crush on me, feel free. I'm not even picky at this point. I'm not picky. Beggars can't be choosers. So if anybody wants to fall in love with me, let me know. I'm down. Unless you give me the ick, then that's game over for you. And that's the issue. Everyone gives me the ick. So I think it's just me and my cats for the foreseeable future. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not upset. Not at all. It's really the men of Austin that are missing out on me. Not the other way around. Don't get it twisted.
I have a question for men. I feel like a lot of men these days are no longer interested in dating. Like, they just totally gave up on dating. Why do you think that is the case?
I think this date's over.
Well, that's the dumbest shit I've heard. So that's not even going to be the case right now. This date is not over. Like I said, we are going to do what I want to do.
No.
No. We're going to do what I want to do, and I don't give a shit what you have to say.
So obviously that guy gave her enough reason to not go on a second date, but if you can believe it, there was already enough information for her to have never gone on the first date. That is not the first time this guy has done something like that, which is why I always recommend public data check, because you deserve to look into whoever you're going on a date with. Like, thank God she was recording, but sometimes the internet already has it recorded ahead of time, so nothing wrong with using the tools available to you.
30% dating, 70% opted out. The numbers don't negotiate. The dating recession is structural, built into the economics, the technology, and the psychology of modern life. The men who recognized it early and redirected are years ahead of the ones still swiping. The data just caught up to what they already knew.
I'm a 23-year-old woman, okay? I'll be 24 in March. I have a child. I want to be a wife, okay? I want to be a wife. Casual, short term. What the fuck? What the actual fuck do you mean that you're 30 years old and you only want to hook up? What?
Quick question. Where are we meeting the men that actually want to date and be in a relationship? Because it's not the dating apps. It's not.
I have said this before and I will say it again. They are most likely working or home chilling or maybe just ignoring people.
It's literally crazy that women have created an entire multi-million-dollar industry on the way they want to be yearned for, and men still can't figure it out. We have hundreds of thousands of romance novels.
Someone needs to give me a podcast mic because dating in 2026 feels like I'm in an actual goddamn horror film. Matched with this guy on Hinge. He has more pictures of like him with his dog than anything else. And I'm like, you know what? I like dogs a lot more than I like people. So this might actually work out. There's a squirrel right outside. Anyways, matched with this guy. We're talking for a couple weeks. We cannot pick a day and time that works for both of us because both of our schedules just weren't allowing for it. But I will say he was the one that was being a little bit more picky about the date. I really find a time and a day that works. He wants to take me out to dinner. He picks the restaurant. He makes the reservation. And then he's asking me like my favorite colors because I'm pretty sure he was gonna get me flowers. He knew that I was like obsessed with flowers of all kinds. Don't let men come to my house on the first date. It just feels icky. It feels scary and dangerous. I meet him at the restaurant. I go there, I sit down and I'm waiting for him. Waiting another 20 minutes. Another 30 minutes, texting him, calling him. Go on Hinge to see if maybe like I can get a hold of him there. Like maybe, I just don't know. You know, we go through every like excuse in our brains. This motherfucker unmatched me. Why go through all that? Why put someone through all that? Like if you think I'm mid, why go through all that and lead me on for weeks? I had an overnight bag. I had puree, spicy cubes ready to go. Like I was, you know, he was gonna get some. I will be single forever and this is the only man I need. And somehow like that actually sounds pretty darn good in my opinion.
68% of single Americans said dating apps have made commitment more difficult. Not easier, more difficult. The tools designed to connect people are actively disconnecting them. More options created more hesitation. More access created less action. The paradox of choice was a theory in a psychology textbook. Now it's a documented outcome endorsed by more than 2/3 of the people trapped inside it.
I feel like there's some naiveness going on, some ignorance going on, but we have literally been in a recession the last 5 years when it comes to dating and just like the male species just in general. Like, am I right, girlies, or am I right? Like, if you are single, it is rough out on these streets right now. And I feel like we always hear the news talk about, oh my gosh, like there's a recession coming. We're in the midst of a recession's on the horizon. No, we literally have been living a recession the last 5 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, a whole hand we've been in a recession with dating. How come the news isn't talking about that? Why are they talking about this topic?
I saw this woman talking about like Chinese dating advice, and I was like, what's that? She said that the beginning of your misfortune is spending money on a man. And what that told me is that across culture, men are disappointing us. Well, you're not alone.
Okay, where, like for real, where are we meeting men? Where are we meeting them? What are we doing? Because and this isn't me saying, oh, I need a boyfriend, I need a boyfriend. I don't need a boyfriend, I don't need a companion. I love being alone, but like, God forbid, just a little, fuck, sue me. And I'm just disgusted all the time. And I don't even have that high of standards. I truly don't. And like dating apps, and like I know I have RBF like a motherfucker, but like men don't approach women in the bars nowadays. And I'm sorry, but like if I have to not only approach you but like initiate our first date, like I'm not into it. And so then I'm like, okay, I could have a sugar daddy, but where are we meeting sugar daddies? Like, I'm like on an age gap algorithm, and I'm like, I could get behind this. Where are we meeting ones that aren't disgusting? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just confused. I'm like, it really can't be that hard, but I'm like consistently like, okay, like I go out on the weekends, I get cute and dolled up, I put myself out there. I'm like, maybe it's where I live. Where are we living geographically? That's like is the vibe. Like I lived in Austin last year and I was like not that happy. So I don't know. Thoughts?
People say the dating market is worse now, but I disagree. I think we just became more aware and have higher standards. People used to be in relationships that didn't feel right and never questioned it. Well, some still do to this day. But now you don't have to do that. You notice misalignment sooner and walk away faster. So the dating market isn't trash or worse than it was before. It's always been trash. But now people with higher standards are actually happier and thriving because they are no longer obliged to settle.
The Institute for Family Studies just dropped the 2026 State of Our Unions report. Only 30% of young adults ages 22 to 35 are currently dating, casually or exclusively. That leaves 70% not on a date, not in a relationship, not even trying. The dating recession isn't a prediction anymore. It's a published finding from a nationally representative sample of 5,275 people.
No, because I don't think men want to take women out on dates anymore. Like, I feel like they don't want to take women out on dates. Their idea of, like, a date in some way is, like, saying, hey, like, let's meet at the bar. Let's, like, meet at the bar and, like, just have some drinks, you know, just meet me there. Let's, like, spend some time together. And it's not even a proper date. Like, that's what they will suggest 100%. Or better yet, if you are on Hinge, I'm so sorry, I'm like all out and about. I just got done working out. But anyways, even on Hinge, you will literally see like men like not want to go on dates with you. Like I have matched with like so many people on Hinge, and the matter of like men, like the amount of men who do not want to pursue anything after like the first 2 messages is like really crazy. Like there was no effort from them to like, or even any incentive to take you out on a date. It's just like they just want to match just to match, and they're not really there to be intentional. And mind you, am I being like super dead serious on finding somebody on Hinge? Not really. I'm just there to like kind of see like, hey, what's out there, you know, maybe to go on a date or 2 just to get to know somebody. Like that'd be nice. But the problem is nobody is asking me out. Like nobody's asking anybody out. Like they're like, we're just 1 to 2 little sentences and it stops there. It stops. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I don't know what's going on, but I do engage with the conversation and it just dies. It's just like nothing. They don't care enough to like take you out. So honestly, I don't think men want to take out women anymore. I don't know what they expect. Well, it's definitely not dates, not romanticizing, or no romance anymore. It's wild out here.
Dating in 2026 is like giving into self-destructive behavior. To be honest, at this point, I think I should start picking up smoking, drinking, anything else is going to be less psychologically damaging to me at this point. For this guy on Hinge, we're talking for a few weeks at this point. He's like giving very I'm obsessed with you vibes, which who doesn't love that? He picks the date and the time to go to dinner. He picks the restaurant. He makes the reservation. He's telling me that he's going to bring me flowers and blah, 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 blah. I don't let strangers pick me up from my house on a first date because that feels a little bit scary. So I was going to meet him at the restaurant. I get there. The host is like, your other party's not here. So I'm like, okay, well, there was a reservation. So he's obviously going to be here. I'm waiting 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm texting him. I tried calling him, but I didn't want to seem insane. But I'm also like sitting at this goddamn table all by myself. I decided to go on my Hinge and, you know, maybe see if something's going on because, I don't know, your brain starts to go through all these hoops and loops of this can't really be happening to me. I get on there, this fucking ogre unmatched me on Hinge. How little did you know, John, that I'm into witchcraft. So if you can't get things up for the next couple years, you did it to your own damn self. You're lost too because I had packed an overnight bag, you know, just in case. I was planning to put this thing on him if the date went well. I brought lingerie, spicy cubes. I didn't bring any pajamas.
The Hilly State of Dating report confirmed that half of American men had 0 dates in all of 2025, not one. Meanwhile, men make up 75% of Tinder's user base, but women swipe left on 95% of profiles. On Hinge, men see a 10 to 30% match rate per like. Women average 30 to 50%. The platforms were designed around scarcity and intermittent reward. Men figured out the casino was rigged and walked out.
I see all these men quitting dating and going into celibacy, and it's great. I know what's going on with my hair, I just come out of the ocean, but it's fantastic. I believe every man and woman should go through celibacy for a year in their life. It's nothing more important than being able to harness your own life force energy, to be with yourself, to be with your body, and to hold and build more capacity for more of your life force, your pleasure, your orgasmic potential, to not be driven by your errors. And when we learn to be with our own, we are raising our standard for what we are tolerating when it comes to dating. And this will help the whole world to level up because we're not tolerating bad dates, crumbs, or people who are just not doing the right thing. So I think this is great. Might be sad that the dating culture is very broken, very painful for a lot of people, but this is good. This is a bit of a shake-up to wake up, and maybe this is a year where people are doing the work on themselves and collectively we are leveling up. So 2027, maybe all these happy, healthy people with high standards, a lot of love, a lot of kindness, a lot of care, we get back into the dating scene and we will create all this happy, healthy relationship built from truth, built from genuine connection, real, safe love, not trauma bonding, not just chemistry, but actually relationships that's going to last lifetime. Not more divorce every couple of years. Lifetime. That's what I'm hoping for. What do you believe? Let me know in the comments.
A survey of over 1,000 single Americans by Modern Gents found that millennial women were the most pessimistic about their romantic futures. Only 39% felt positive about dating. Meanwhile, 50% of Gen Z men said they're optimistic. The optimism isn't about finding a woman. The optimism is about discovering that not finding one is actually fine.
You know why a lot of guys nowadays are choosing to actively not date? I have a few friends who are absolute studs. They make great money. They got their own place. They got a really promising career, and they're just solid, stable dudes. The reason why is because they were dating girls, and then they were passed over, looked over for some odd reason, and there was a bum that these ladies chose. For example, a guy that's like really into partying, he's really into like friends, he's really into traveling, doing all this shit. He's not necessarily a guy that's into building a career or has this crazy ambition. He just wants to have a lot of fun. There's so many dudes these days. I can't even relate to it on a single percent. But anyways, after those guys were not chosen by the girl that they were dating, they're just like, dude, I can't even win. I can't even be a stud and actually win in this environment. But then again, you ladies break up with those guys because they're not really going anywhere. And then you wonder why you're still single. We ain't wondering why.
So how are we figuring out like when men are actually like telling the truth or not? Because I feel like I'm having deja vu. It's like Groundhog's Day out here with how often men are showing up full interest, like being intentional, doing all the right things, saying all the right things, but following that up with action as well. So it's not just words. And then just like one day waking up and saying, oh, I can't do it. I don't want a relationship. Even though early on you asked, like, what are you looking for? And they say, I want something serious. I would like to build something. I want a relationship, whatever version of that. But it's usually good enough for what I'm looking for, implying that we're on the same page. And then everything's literally fine. And then one day they just wake up and boop, something flipped. What is that? What is that? Like, what do I do with that? How do we figure out when they're actually telling the truth or not? Because at this point, I'm done. Right now, I'm getting ready to go drop off the sweater of the guy who decided he was going to end things with me over the last 12 hours. Because last night, our conversation ended with him saying how he wanted to see me on Tuesday. And then this morning, I get a text saying that we need to talk. So, what is that? What is that?
Dating resilience is collapsing. The State of Our Union's report found only 28% of young adults can stay positive after a bad date or setback. 55% said their breakups have made them more reluctant to try again. 49% cited lack of confidence as a barrier to dating. The pool isn't just shrinking. The people still in it are psychologically exhausted. Both sides are hurt. Neither is recovering. Subscribe to Alpha Reloaded for more. Drop your thoughts in the comments and hit that like button on your way out. See you next time.